Warning, the models of Kyogre are free-drawn, meaning I made them and I didn't use any clips from Pokemon Company. I only discussed Kyogre's size, where he would live, what he would eat, and what if he was real in the real world. To the Pokemon Company, I just want to share some love to Kyogre and not say I created him. I respect the Pokemon Company. I hope you enjoy this video. Kyogre, a fan favorite Pokemon, and one of my top 12 favorite Pokemon. Today on Go to Headquarters, I'll be discussing Kyogre's size, where he would live on the planet, what he would eat, and what if we made a biography Kyogre. And subscribe so you don't miss another biography video like this one. Before we get to the part where we discuss biography Kyogre, let's talk about the original Kyogre. Kyogre, the sea basin Pokemon. Length 14.09 feet from nose to tail and side to side, and weighing around 776 to 947.9 pounds, or 0.3 to 0.4 tons. But in the real world, he would likely weigh around more than 6 tons due to his massive flippers and bulky ground appearance. Weapons: massive jaws, 2-sided spikes below the mouth, 2 sharp dorsal spikes, and bulky flippers. I don't want to do Kyogre too much, so I told y'all about his famous ability, the Origin Pulse. Okay, now let's figure out where would Kyogre live on the planet. In some stats of different researchers, it is stated that Kyogre lived in the deep trenches, and we will say that Kyogre might have very, very strong and flexible muscles to survive that deep through the world's oceans. The Mariana Trench would likely be the best spot for Kyogre to live. Why? Well, in some cases, he would probably live in the deep trenches because either 1. There wasn't much food on the surface, 2. He would need more energy to fight other enemies from the Earth's core, or 3. Hidden from Pokemon hunters or Pokemon trainers. My guess is probably option 2, because there's a lot of food on the surface of our ocean, and Kyogre would just clear any Pokemon trainers and Pokemon hunters. If Kyogre did hide in deep trenches, it makes sense since he needed more power to take on his ultimate foe, Groundhog. Okay, now that we cover where Kyogre would live, let's see what would he eat and how much would he eat. Now, to be real here, Kyogre would not need much food as you think, because if these stats are true, and I do believe that Kyogre is 14 feet long and weighs 947.9 pounds, Kyogre isn't much bigger than the Orca, or in this case, pretty sure this famous Orca's name is called Shamu, with the smallest ones being 17 feet long and weighing 6,600 pounds. Since Kyogre looks like a creature that was actually discovered last year, and we will be using that animal, we will use an Orca since that is what he is based off of, and scale it up to Kyogre to figure out how much food he would need to eat. An adult Orca needs to consume about 300 pounds of food per day, roughly 150,000 calories, to meet their daily energy demands. That's equivalent to what about 85 average humans would eat in a day, or nearly 200 hamburgers. Resident Orcas eat exclusively fish, with salmon the majority of their diet. Transcendent Orcas prefer to eat other marine mammals like seals, sea lions, and other whales. So, scaling up to an Orca, since Kyogre would weigh more than 6 tons in the real world, you would likely need to eat about 250,000 calories or 300 to 600 pounds per day. The reason why Kyogre would eat so much is the flippers. Sure, they give Kyogre the ability to move faster, but he needs energy to help the muscles to move them, which, with that energy being food. The diet for Kyogre to maintain this much food would have to be him eating large fish, seals, and other whales. But how would Kyogre deal with the apex predators of the ocean? Kyogre, with his powers, he would be an unstoppable force and likely would be a disaster since he would flood out the world. But in this scenario, since Kyogre can go all over the world without his powers, nothing can defeat him. But Orcas would give Kyogre a tough time, or if possible, Kyogre would likely team up with the Orcas and establish the most powerful sea creatures to have ever roamed our one ocean. If you enjoyed this video so far and want to see more dinosaurs, anime, How to Train Your Dragons, and Pokemon, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss another video like this one. But what if we made a biography Kyogre made for the real world? Unique abilities, able to defend and attack opponents big and small, quick and slow. So, what type of creature did biography Kyogre evolve from? A creature that resembles a lot to Kyogre, having large eyes, short snout, and sharp teeth with a bulky build. I think this is the right name for this prehistoric marine reptile or creature. The barrack Kyogre likely evolved from the Janjecetus dulerdi, Janjecetus, I'll just call it that. Yes, this is what our barrack Kyogre would evolve from, due to this striking resemblance. These creatures were found in Australia in 1990, with a size around 11 feet long and weighing maybe 500 to 1,000 pounds. It's unknown to me. A small but formidable predator that lived around 26 million years ago. Unlike its monofiled sphere cousins, the prehistoric whale was about the size of a dolphin, with a short snout, large eyes, and razor-sharp teeth. But some of y'all are thinking, and it might be impossible, how can I'm gonna call it Jan for short. How can Jan be a barrack Kyogre if it can't grow more than 11 feet and take on any foe that powerful or fast? Well, it's actually quite simple for this whale to evolve. In order for Jan to evolve into our barrack Kyogre, this prehistoric whale will have to target larger prey like larger fish, or whales learning how to target about areas with socializing capabilities like orcas, willing to use its flippers more for steering, tight turns, and as weapons to attack like whales, and possibly use their heads for ramming its opponents like Moses and orcas. If Jan followed those rules, this 26 million prehistoric whale might evolve to be the ultimate apex predator in the entire ocean. Everyone, may I introduce you to Daemolestis Leviathan, the celestial demon Leviathan, named after the Leviathan that dwells in the watery abyss in the Jewish mythology. With a length of 62 feet long and weighing 71 tons, and a bite force of 25,000 to 28,000 psi. Weapons: massive flippers with sharp spines in the front, massive jaws that can deliver a devastating bite, 2 sharp chin spikes, exceptionally outstanding intelligence, heightened senses of electrical perception, hearing and vision, robust tail, and a strong, durable, sharp dorsal for slashing opponents' underbellies. This creature lives in oceans all over the world, learning how to adapt to its new environments. Similar to humpback whales, which are considered as worldwide whales that travel everywhere. But unlike humpback whales who travel all over the world, Daemolestis not only travels all over the world on the surface, but sometimes travels all over the world at the bottom of the ocean, and sometimes goes to the Mariana Trench. Daemolestis can survive these depths thanks to its rib cage and lungs of the whales are actually adapt to collapse under pressure, squeezing all the air out of the lungs and pressure with the air of the lungs into a small space. I think so, right? Yeah. This group kind of gets confused. Anyways, some are just sperm whales, but surprisingly they can surpass the Cougar's beaked whale in holding the breath that lasted 222 minutes. In a pod, this species works together in a group in long-term family units. They establish a method which is my favorite when hunting prey. Whoops, my bad. Hang on. This species can hold their breath up to 240 minutes. My bad. I actually misplaced that. Rewind. Sorry. In a pod, this species work together in a group in long-term family units. They establish a method which is my favorite when hunting prey, divide and conquer, where they split up to attack as a team, eventually cornering it or wasting its energy, which means these species have good endurance and stamina. They are smarter than orcas too. Why? Not only do they do similar hunting tactics, similar jumping styles, and communication like orcas, Daemolestis can also use tools. I know it's a little weird that this whale can use tools, but seeing how dolphins use sponges, these guys use giant boulders to help crack giant ships or caverns to get to their prey that hide in the shelter from them. They may be named after the Leviathan. That doesn't mean it's a threat to humans. These guys help save drowning people in the oceans or stuck on the ocean. Not everything is as it seems. Just because it has demon or named after the Leviathan, that doesn't mean it's a monster. It's actually a protector in the ocean for humans. No, this is not a hybrid. This is a species that is evolved in between toothed whales and baleen whales, another species that I made, known as Myodonsticetus, a combination of whales with similar traits like filter-feeder whales such as humpback whales, blue whales, and bowhead whales, to toothed stump whales like orcas, sperm whales, and leviathans. Daemolestis is an apex predator of the ocean and protector of humans, evolved to be an expert and intelligent hunter, taking down whales as big as blue whales to small creatures like squids and octopus. This creature will still need 300,000 to 320,000 calories a day due to the larger size and energy needed to chase prey, double as much as an orca needs, that's 150,000 calories. So far, we made Lefko Condensed Kitsu and Daemolestis Leviathan, bioactive versions of Indominus Rex and Kyogre. But what if we made a bioactive version of the apex of the sky?